Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Divas That Care Network. My name is Candace Gish. I'm the founder of the Divas That Care, and I'm a host of this particular program. So a big welcome to all of you that are tuning in today. It's going to be a great show. I'm actually welcoming back one of my friends that she's been on our show quite a few times, and it's always a pleasure to have her on the program. For any of you that have just tuned in for the very first time, you know, I'm so happy that you found us. The Divas That Care has been around now for 10 years. We have a platform of currently 11 hosts, and by the end of 2020, we're hoping for 20 hosts for the Divas That Care Network. And we interview women, and we've interviewed men around the world, and it's a great show. It's very uplifting. It's, you know, we're trying to put a lot of positivity and inspiration into the world, and our hashtag is Divas That Care. So make sure you check that out, and you can listen to our shows on Spotify, iTunes, Sketcher, and really any podcasting place out there. We're out there, so I'm so excited. Well, today's guest is my friend Diane, and Diane is just the most amazing woman. She is such a bundle of energy and inspiration, and she is inspiring so many people out there. And I want to talk to her today because she's doing some great things out there, and I think it will help all of you out there, especially if you're at home like I am and looking for some ways to, you know, maybe get your business out there a little bit more. So, Diane, welcome back to the program.
Well, thank you, and a big welcome to you and your audience, because I'm just so thrilled to be back and so appreciative and grateful for you and your support and just being a part of your show again. I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm excited too. It's always a great time when you and I get a chat. But before we kind of dive into everything that you're doing, would you mind reintroducing yourself to maybe some of our new listeners today?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I am Diane Nachum. I'm the founder and CEO of PhotoPad for Business, which in a simple way is an easy-to-use design platform to help small businesses and inspire them to create beautiful visuals for their social media marketing. So, and that's in a nutshell. Prior, I was a social worker, and I worked with children and family, and that's still very dear to my heart. So I still advocate and do philanthropy work around children and abuse, as well as I serve on a number of boards to women organizations to help advocate for women and shine the light on them to succeed.
Oh, I love it. And you definitely do that. We see all of your posts all the time, and I'm looking at all the things you're doing, and it's absolutely inspirational. You're always out there. You're really in the public and trying to do great things. You know, I love the things that you're doing with, you know, teens, the women in coding and technology, because your business is a very high-tech application for people to use. You really support people in technology.
Well, interestingly, is coming from that non-tech background, I would end up being technology leader of my company has been super surreal. And what I found is that women, it's not a high priority guidance to women to be women in tech. And so part of my advocacy is to really move forward with opening up doors and showing women that you can be in technology on a number of different levels. You don't only have to code, but it is needed, and we need to be representative. So I try when I talk is to give people inspiration that you can do it. And I certainly jumped into this. It was not easy. I tripped and fell a number of times, but it's about getting up and moving forward and looking at each step as a success.
Oh, yeah. And you've done such a great job, because it's a difficult thing to be, you know, not just a woman in business, but just a business owner in general, and going through ups and downs and everything. And especially now with everything that's changed in the world in the last few months, how has that been impactful for you?
Right. So it's been really tough for all of us, and especially small businesses who really rely on a few workers themselves, and the budgets are really small. So PhotoPad has been very helpful to them to creating impactful brand stories and graphics for their social media. But today, that's not been their focus. And so being supportive to small businesses, I got on Instagram and started interviewing marketing experts to bring forward their knowledge to help small businesses who can't even afford anyways to be doing marketing, But on top of it, what do we do, even if I could have the resources for it? So we're getting a lot of great tips. We're trying to share it out on our social media so that they can read it, see it. We've done videos, but every Tuesday and Thursday, we're going to go live at least through the end of April to provide some sort of resource and support to small businesses, because we're going to be reopening and it's going to be a new normal. And what does that look like?
Yeah.
And what should their message be? Originally we were out there in the crisis and they talked about that, but now just like a grieving cycle, we have to move forward. We have to get out of the shock, get out of the denial. We're going to open and get into talking about ways that they can communicate with their customers so the customers trust them again. And maybe they didn't lose the trust, but trust them again in the sense of, like say you're going to go to a store, that they sanitize it. What are they going to do to sanitize it? What are they doing with their employees? All that really is such an important story to tell, because a lot of the restaurants have really stepped up and been supportive to their employees, which really shows their leadership. And the reason why I always freak out, that's right, the way you say it, those restaurants, is because that leadership came through over and over again. And now when they closed and they were in a pandemic, they did not just say, sorry, you're going on unemployment. They tried to help them. They tried to help them get jobs. They tried to start a fund to help pay. They've done a number of things. They communicated. So now we need to know what are we going to do when you open? So that's the steps that we're looking at now on our Instagram Live, is providing that information to many of the small businesses that have been our customers.
I love that. And I want to say that it's amazing that it is going to be our new normal. And we're trying to evaluate that and figure it out. And I like how you were mentioning a lot of these businesses, the heart-centered ones. And that's we had a topic about that the other day, and how there's a lot of people stepping up. There's a lot of heart-centered stuff going on, and you can really see that with how everything has been going on and the new normal and that. What I want to ask you, though, is, are all of these Instagram Lives that you've done, are they recorded? Can some of our listeners go back and check those out?
Well, I was able to record one of them, and then I was new to Instagram myself, and it just shows you can be imperfect. So I wasn't able to save some of the other ones, but if they sign up for my newsletter, I've been writing up what was discussed. And so sign up for my newsletter, go to PhotoPad for Business on Facebook, and there's a place to sign up for our newsletter. And I think that would be a great resource for them, because we are putting in there a photo story of what we've learned. We put together a infographic to show them, as well as a write-up. So actually that works really well too for people. Then they can hold on to it as a resource. Mm-hmm. And so, you're right. So next week's guest is a digital marketing expert who's going to be talking about that exactly. What's the new normal? How do we move forward and stay heart-centered? Just what you meant. I love that word. I didn't think of that when I was talking, but that's basically what I was trying to describe, is that small businesses are heart-centered. We do it for passion and our heart, and our customers are just so important to us. And it's just wonderful to see that, And there is on Facebook, I follow this restaurant in Michigan. I've never been there, but I swear when I get out of this quarantine, I'm going to go straight there for dinner, because their posts have been just so wonderful. I feel like I know that they are leaders. I know they're heart-centered. Their food looks good. They're talking about their own family and how this whole restaurant business started. They're sharing photos. And I feel like I know them, and that's really good way to engage your audience and prospective audiences. It's not only your customers, but it's your future customers. You want to stay engaged with people that are already following you, but you want to gain new ones so that when you open, you're not starting over, you're only moving forward. So it's really great.
Oh, I love that. And that's so beautiful.
It's really great. Thank you. Yeah, I just love it too.
Well, one of the things I want to dive back into, Diane, is that for any of our listeners that haven't heard our first programs with you, I want to talk a little bit about what PhotoPad really is and what it can do for a person's, not just their business, but just for their life. You can use it for so many personal things too. So can we chat a little bit about that?
Sure. Great. Yeah, I would love to. Well, first off, I started PhotoPad for Business because I started it actually, let's go back a little bit. I started it as a Facebook app for consumers when Facebook first became popular, long before Instagram had and all the fun photo places you can post pictures now, because I knew telling your story was important. You know, I'm Greek. We used to have people come to our homes. We hold them hostage, going through photo albums and everything, showing pictures of celebrations, right? Yeah, and so I knew when I saw on Facebook, people were just posting a static post, but it was not exciting. And so I was giving them the ability to create photo albums to share with their new family, people who are on Facebook. Facebook became our living room. But what happened was everything exploded in photo sharing, and Pinterest and Instagram and Snapchat comes out, and businesses now are saying, wait a minute, maybe we need to tell a story, but how as small businesses can we do that? I know I struggled as a business person because there was nothing out there that was affordable and simple to use. And what I created was I closed our app to consumers, opened it on the web, and of course, everybody can use it for their celebration. They can turn photos into a slide presentation, share it on Facebook, share it across all social media channels. But most importantly, I really was focusing on businesses like myself who don't have the resources or budget to create what you see as beautiful posts from big companies who have money. So I'm giving them the tools that gives them the ability to create brand stories. So tell your story, a beginning, middle, and end of a day in the life of your business, of your employees. Also we have the ability, because we have a suite of tools, to do graphics. If you don't feel like doing a story every day, you can put on a graphic with an inspirational post. You can download it into a JPEG and send it to your email marketing. But the best thing is it's a one-stop shop, one place, simple to use, affordable, and all you have to do is upload your photos from anywhere you host them. You don't even leave the site. You can do it right there, and it just uploads them, and you just use our tools. You become the designer without having the design skill needs. That's a basic thing. So our mission was to revolutionize the way people use social media marketing for small businesses and make it a networking tool so that they can, share and engage their audience. And what we do know is sharing a brand story beyond a static post. What I mean is by that is just posting a couple pictures, and saying a long text. That is very old concept. Today, it's about using visuals and sharing it into a brand story, sharing it to all your social media channels. And that's the best thing, is you don't have to do anything more than inside our app. It's click to those channels and then it posts. So if you like being on Instagram, this is a great tool to be present on Facebook, great tool to be present on Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and send it to your email marketing in seconds. It takes less than 15 minutes to create, and sometimes it could take 5 minutes based on how much time do you want to spend on it. You want to upload some photos and add some text, it's fairly quick. So that's basically what we're doing. We're taking that old concept of photo sharing it and using our brand to connect and keep the conversation going in businesses now. So that's, what we want to in creative when you don't even have creative skills. So it's fantastic. It's been fun how this has all evolved.
Well, and you're doing such a great job. And I love using the tools myself. And I love how you're saying it's a brand story. You're really branding yourself. And a lot of people they're trying to market themselves. They're trying to see what makes them different from everybody else. And when you're telling your story and you're using, like we were talking about, the heart-centered part of it, it all comes together.
Yes, it does come together. And the best thing is when you share a story, you get 83 to 92% increased engagement. They're very impactful, and they stand out in the clutter, in the algorithms that are out there. People go through and like posts, but when they click on a photo story, they're going to watch it. And the great thing is, like you said, we have a lot of features. And one of my favorite features is we give you the ability not only to embed the story and give you live story on your website, because it's expensive to change pictures out, but we also give you the ability to add during the story, they can add a tab that leads them to your website if you're selling something. So we know we don't like to be sold to, but what we do like is following the story and clicking the link and going to your website and making it interactive. That's what one of the cool features I love about PhotoPad. And, you know, we're in V2, Candace, and we're moving into V3, which we're delayed now, of course. But hopefully by the end of July, we will move into the V3, and we're going to have even more features. We're going to have a new look. I'm pretty excited about that stage, and it's pretty exciting to move forward. And it's all based on customers' feedback. That's what has been wonderful. Is every single customer who uses it has given me likes and dislikes, and we've taken what they don't like out and asked them what they would like to see, and we add that. And I think that's really important piece with customers, right? So I can hardly wait to that next phase. I think everybody will be, every stage I get new feedback from people who've seen it in the early stages, like, this is getting better. Oh my God, I love it. And this is just, isn't it wonderful? And you use it. Thank you so much. You've made some really incredible stories from your daily planner of inspiration to featuring your women in your books, which is really cool. And so those are the ways that you can share it for people to see it, you know. And they see a whole picture of what you do for Divas That Care, because you do a lot for women, and we're so appreciative of that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And as I said, I love it. I love what you're doing too. And I need to utilize it a lot more, because I see the benefits of it. I see that if you can put it all together and showcase it, people will be like, oh my goodness. And they really understand what you're trying to do. And so this is really good also for a lot of the individuals we have on our show that do causes like animal rescue centers and oh my goodness, there's just so many out there. I think this would be a fantastic way to show that story, show the evolution of how they got to where they are today.
Yes, exactly. And also it would be really great for nonprofits, because that's so heart-centered. And people want to know the story behind what they're donating to now. Before we used to just make donations, but now we want to be touched by what we're doing for them that makes change, you know. And so I just think that would be another area of somebody I would like to start connecting with is nonprofits.
Well, we can definitely connect you with a lot of the nonprofits that we know about on the Divas That Care. So I will definitely do something for you in that regard, Diane.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to sharing more inspiration, too, in your summit that's going to be coming up, because it's so important to just persevere through different times such as this, but all times running a business can be hard. It's a roller coaster ride, right?
That it is. And we're really excited about that. We're going to be hosting that virtual summit here in the next week. So we hope that all of our listeners from today's program definitely check that out. We're going to be posting that on all of our social media links, and that's going to be fantastic. We have quite a few amazing speakers, and having you on that, in that brand of the whole bunch of women is just going to be amazing. So we do appreciate that so much.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I'm really excited to share my journey and hope that it inspires other people and just share positivity. That's what we need, and to keep going, and just we learn so much from other people's failures and successes. So that's why I get excited to share it, because I've had my share of both. And I love having that, because that's where I grew. You know, sometimes fear holds us back, and it's so important to push through it so that you get to the other side, and that's when the growth happens. You know, I look back, and the only time I look back is to see the growth that's happened. So when I'm down in the dumps or feeling like I'm down, you know, below sea level, I have to look back and think, wow, look where I am today. Because it's so hard sometimes when progress is slow or things are not going well to go down that rabbit hole. But it's so easy to get back on top when you give other people inspirations of how you rebounded, you know. I think that's so important.
I do too. And you've done a lot of stuff with mentorship, and I think that's why we love you so much too at the Divas That Care, because you are all about giving back. And we really feel the same way. As when you can empower and you can lift somebody else up, amazing things can happen. So the collaboration is fantastic. Well, Diane, I have one last question. Is there any last tips, tools, things you'd like to share with us today?
Well, a couple things. One is I wanted to do like almost like a self-promo here. I would love to connect with any small businesses that want to be featured. We're doing a feature photo story, and we will feature in our newsletter and across our social media. But if you aren't able to create it for whatever reason, we will create it for you. So that's how we're helping small businesses right now who are feeling fear or stuck. We want to get their name out there. We want to promote them, and whatever they would like, you know, we will feature that in our newsletter. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then also just to mention that we have to stay present on social media. And if you're really overwhelmed, it's just to even focus on one social media channel. It's just take one day at a time. You know, the power of social media has really shined through during this COVID, because that's how we communicated with most of the businesses we follow, is they became really present on social media. So just use social media as a way to engage and just start somewhere. So I wanted to put that out there, that it's okay to feel overwhelmed and fear, but we have to move through that.
That's a perfect tip for today, and I want to thank you so much for doing that. And coming on to the program today was just great. As I said earlier, I'm like, I always love it when you come onto the show, because I never know what we're going to talk about, but I always know it's going to be absolutely amazing.
I know. I love it too. Your energy is so great. So thank you so much for having me on. Thank you.
Well, it was my pleasure. And to all of our listeners, I'm going to be posting all of Diane's information on our social media. I'm going to be posting the show. So make sure that you take this program and send it to your friends and family. And if you know a small business that she should showcase on her amazing PhotoPad for Business application and her newsletter, make sure that you connect with Diane, because this woman is amazing, guys. You really need to get to know her, because she does so many amazing things that you all want to be a part of. So make sure you connect with her. Make sure that you also check out the other divas at thedivasthatcare.com. We're going to be posting a lot of great things in the next little while. We have some amazing anthologies where we put out there. And all of our proceeds, when you purchase these anthologies, goes to different charities around the world. So make sure that you go and check those out, because you want to listen. You want to read those stories, and you want to know that all the proceeds are going to a good cause. Again, we are going to be doing a virtual summit here in the next week. So make sure that you're looking for that information. I hope that all of you have a fantastic day, and that you stay safe, and you do something kind for somebody out there. So until next time, everyone, have a great day. Bye-bye for now.